Good afternoon. This is the Elliott Wave Daily Update for the S&P 500, being recorded on Monday, December the 8th at 2:23 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The market just keeps giving us some very, very interesting days, and it actually helps me to clear up exactly what I believe the count is. There are no real changes to the count other than that we have a third wave that extended. So first thing you're going to notice is that I've taken the minuet 3 off of this level and just really extended the subminuet third wave up one notch and to put it here. And several reasons. We did get a really nice ABC down, and it did come right to support, but only 0.236 support, but still close enough to that level that I'm like, it was in the price territory of the fourth wave of one lesser degree. I got that. Previously, the three was here and the four was here, and then it definitely was right there. But then would have to make it a minuet fourth wave, which would put us in that minuet five. And I'm like, I think that would have been the early. I would have been like, no, I don't think so. So I just worked it back out and I worked through it again. And I just kind of went through both the uh, line chart and the bar chart, which is what I use. And I just recounted everything, particularly here in these difficult areas and then back up here. But this was the most where it was just like, I've had this count actually working. Um, with the one and the two here, and then one, two, and then one, two, three, four, five of three, four, and a five of three. So it just puts the extensions within that third wave where they actually belong, um, and clears it up a little bit. So what happened after the bell rang, or possibly just before the bell rang, was that the White House has decided to allow NVIDIA, AMD, and Intel to sell their chips to China, approved companies, US approved companies in China. Well, that gave NVIDIA a nice little pump, closing at 185, now trading 190, almost 191 after hours. AMD up 4 after hours. Intel, I'm not really sure. I haven't really put Intel on my list, but let's just take a look. Let's see what's going on in Intel. Intel, ding, ding, ding. It is, wow. Okay, Intel back above 40. How interesting. Not as gaining as much as AMD and NVIDIA, but still, it was down a buck 11. Still going to be down on the day, but it's up about 25 cents from where it closed overnight. Or closed, not overnight, where it closed our regular session. So there it is right there. You can see it. So again, I feel that that's why I kind of came in and put the four there, just not rearranged, but recounted and relabeled all the details inside of here. Like this, I was convinced was a four, but I just had to make sure that it was within the right space. And it is now, I feel. So again, one, two, one, two, one, two, three, four, five of three, ABC four. It does come down. And again, the other part of here, right here with this is that as a minuet fourth wave, I would have been looking for it to come even further down. And this way, it's still sitting there. Now, I have to say that if I just kind of put this, let's just put it, oops, come on, put it back up. If this goes dropping a degree again, ABC, but it's only wave A, and this is going to turn into a B wave, which doesn't really look like it, but there's a lot of time between now and tomorrow. Um, it would suggest that we still had A, and then we're going up in a B wave, or we come back down in a C wave, and we still can get down to 6,800. See how that works right there. So again, for a fourth wave. Now, I'm going to take that off, but that would be part of an alternate. If we're looking for this could go up and we still might come back down. It could. And in that case, it would be an A and this would be a B. And we'd have to kind of get, let me just kind of come down here. We'd have to kind of get, and it doesn't look like that's going to happen because it looks like that 1, 2, 3, 4, and a 5. So that would be a 5 waves up. Could be of uh, one of subminuet wave 5. And or it could be, let me go back down to that 15-minute chart, or it could be wave A. But this actually altogether, hold on one second. A, B, doesn't really work. So I'm going to say that this could be A, this could be B, and this all is C? No. So I'm going to have to say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Still could be A. We come down in 3, go back up in 5, and it's a 5, 3, 5. And still could be in terms of a B wave of this little bit larger fourth wave. So let me go back out to the hourly so we can see it more clearly, hopefully. If this is just taking it down another degree, and then this is wave A of this fourth wave. And so we're getting up ABC up to put in a B wave and another C wave down, then yes, we could get down to that 6,800 level. In terms of still being within that fourth wave. Right now, I'm feeling that with the news that's come out and the fact that this stuff is going to rally and now everybody wants to get back in and AI. So it could just kind of continue to move higher. And then we're still now looking for the subminuet fifth wave to complete minuet wave 3, do another 4, then another 5. So again, it kind of still fits pretty cleanly with expectations of, that I still believe that the market can and will trade above 7,000, at least in the futures market. But I also believe it for the cash as well. That's going to get above 7,000 and likely upwards toward these levels up here, at least 72. That's 100%. The minute fifth wave would be equal to minute wave 1 at 72.26. It's kind of in between the two, but it could complete it. And then I also have these. Now, everybody asks what's going to get there. There's lots of things that could be going on. They could get there. It could be a spike. Everything that I talked about over the weekend in the podcast still remains valid. Right now, we're just cleaning up the count and showing that we still have a little ways to go or another rally up to finish this minuet third, minuet third. Then we come down in a minuet fourth wave. And again, doing the same thing. So we can display up and down could last for a little bit longer. Now, subminuet wave 5. First line is 69.17, 69.18 right there. But this is the one that I think has a slight better chance of kind of coming into play. Because once we can break above 6,900, then I think we can pick up some upward momentum and maybe get it all the way up to 69.70 and pull back there in a minuet fourth wave and then go back up in that minuet wave 5, finally getting it back above 7,000. Now, all-time high here in this particular market sits right there at 69.54. So even here, it's not necessarily, definitely not a new high, but this one is. And I would love to see this wave start to break to a new high. This is minute wave 5. I'd like to see it to start to break to a new high above what we have. Lessens the pressure on that 7,000 less level and kind of just maybe gives it a little bit of a boost. so we can get up there. Now, again, I just want to say this is, to me, is not, we're not breaking out. And this is, I think, a finishing move. And it should lead to a longer term, larger corrective phase. That's going to take a while to get to where it needs to be. And there are going to be a lot of trading, a lot of opportunity, a lot of things on both sides of our market. But we're not quite there yet. So upside remains intact, so to speak. There's still plenty of things out there to rattle the market. So, but now, what do we got coming in tomorrow in terms of data? Not much. We have the NFIB Optimism Index that comes out at 6 a.m. Eastern. At 10 a.m., we have the job openings, which is a delayed report. This one's saying it's for October. Um, but I'm like, I'm not really sure. Um, because it is giving an estimate. Let me see what it says, of 7.2 million. And then it has a little asterisk next to it, and it says that's August data. September report was canceled. That's what they're talking about. So right now, it's basically telling us something we already know. The August, they're re-putting out the forecast, or the previous is 7.2 million, and that's actually August, since September the government was closed. That's what they're talking about. Okay. So they're still expecting the median forecast right now is 7.2 million. So pretty much the same. So we'll see how that affects. And then, of course, Wednesday, FOMC interest rate decision day. And so that we'll find out about 2 p.m. Eastern. And then we have Mr. Powell speaking up, or stepping up to the mic and giving a press conference at 2:30 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. So again, a lot of ways we could try to look at that. I'm not even going to go into it right now. So, but right now, let's see if we can hold the higher levels overnight and build on them to give us some additional fuel that we've cleared the hurdle and now we're heading higher in a sub-minuet fifth wave, and hopefully we'll break above 6,900. All right, so gamma levels will be updated tomorrow morning on the morning report, and that will be the next update.